Welcome everybody to the two-man power trip, the black man starting the nerd lifestyle. I'm Nicholas, just to go with the flow.
And I am the man with the plan, Maurice.
And we're back with another edition of the Blerd By Nature Podcast. What's up?
What's good, bro? How are you? How's the week been?
The week been alright for the most part. Alright, so stepping into the first segment of Vibe Guys. Let's talk about our weekend adventures and stuff. This weekend was pretty chill because, I mean, weather standpoint, nobody want to go out, so I was chilling for the most part. So the weekend adventures for me was just inside with Kenya, and then we was good for the most part for that. So how was your weekend?
It's weird because I'm literally drawing a blank on what I did this weekend.
Poof?
It's like with poof.
Shoot.
Like, what did I do?
Trying to gather up them notes in your head, get the files ready.
Yo, I dead honestly can't remember.
See, that's how you know it's a fly-by weekend. Ain't nothing unless you went back to Stone and forgot everything that happened.
Nah, I would at least remember going there.
Man, I don't know. Maybe shit just flew by. Maybe it was just one of them weekends that just nothing is just fly over.
I'm gonna just say it was a chill weekend and I didn't do anything because I can't recall a thing about this weekend.
Shoot, so that's that just flew over. Yeah. All right, so how's the week? How's the week been? Work wise, chilling wise, what's going down?
So the week has been fine. Of course, I'm still in the middle of my tooth adventure. So
yes,
I went this week, this Tuesday to get the root canal. So that's done. Good. And now I go back the following Tuesday to get the crown put in.
How you feeling?
I feel fine. So every time I go there, they numb me up, so I don't feel anything. I tell you, this last time, this lady, the dentist, she had so many drill bits and stuff. Man, it sounded like a whole construction area going on in my mouth.
Yep.
And I was like, I low-key wanted to see what was going on, but I low-key didn't.
Exactly. Keep telling you, ever since that crunch in my head, I'm like, I don't want to know nothing. I don't want to know nothing.
Because I'm just sitting in the chair, she pulled out, she do, she pulled out another one, they all making all kinds of different sounds, and I'm like,
yep.
And I'm just sitting there in the chair like
just
this.
Let me know when the shit done.
He's all the time, wow, and I'm on side in the chair, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, exactly. Once it's all over, it's definitely what the fuck was that moment,
right? And like I said, so I was good doing dumbness. They gave me some pills for like when the pain starts, but normally for me so far, my jaw hurts literally like that day, but after that, I'm typically fine.
Okay, that's good.
So not much pain.
Okay, the bounce back's pretty good. All right,
yeah.
This was up. For me, for the most part, this week has been both chilling. I've been getting all my stuff. Literally, the only thing that I'm waiting on is pretty much Nami wear. Like everything else is coming in. Like my workout gear's coming in. Something good. I ordered from Chalkline, the Avatar shorts and stuff that came in. Pokemon about to set in by tomorrow, so that's coming in. Like all the stuff is just coming in. I'm just waiting for anything Nami wear to finally arrive.
Yes, Nami wear. You know we got orders for you, son.
Yeah, I can't put in, and I will not put in another order until at least something comes in.
Not a one.
See sizes, man.
Not a one. I can't do it.
You could drop like the 80% sale. Like, bro, I just gotta see one item, at least something that I can style in. Like, yeah. I need to see something.
I gotta make sure the fit is right.
That's
Nami
what I'm saying.
You're holding it up. You holding it up.
And I know you got a few things in the zeitgeist that's coming, so at least let me see my damn Samurai Champloo jacket. Like, it's been so long that I revisited and rewatched the entire series and finished it already. Like, I think it's time for my thing to come in.
Yes, I need a jacket, sir. I need a jacket.
This is
to determine fit.
The APB out on Nami Wear. We searching.
Right.
So, yeah.
Listen, we will make a road trip, sir.
Shit, man. At this point, yeah. Shit, we'll be Pete to your goof, and we will drive our asses up there and pick up the boxes our goddamn selves.
Like, we here. Knock.
For real. I want that. I want my beast jacket. You know how it's so funny? I got my shorts for Inosuke now. So I got my shorts. Now just give me my jacket. Like, bruh, I mean, we trying to style it in the blue jacket now. That fur will come in handy.
Right. Now we got to start tagging you in post, sir.
Yeah. Our first shout outs this week is for Nami Wear, aka Give Me My Gear.
Yes.
Sheesh, man. But yeah, that's it. Other than, usual work hounding and BS. But other than that, we right on the cusp of bad weather again. These weekends ain't getting right for us, and now it's about to get doubly wrong. At least it didn't hit this way for your birthday, but now it's hitting to a point that it looked like it's about to ruin tomorrow. Ruin Saturday.
Yeah, you know I'm over it.
Yeah, big over it. And they're talking
over this
about
winter.
And they be talking about a foot of snow, and we about to disappear in that shit. So I'm super over it.
Yeah, you know what? Winter, go away. No one wants you.
This ain't cool. This ain't cool.
Right?
Like it couldn't have just been like the cold. Nah. Right. It got to be like, yeah, let's run any end of month plans y'all got. The only time these motherfuckers ever do Saturday, and this shit got to happen. Great.
Right? You can't wait till February.
Great. Like for real, we're on the cusp. You couldn't have chosen.
You couldn't wait till next week.
Couldn't chose Tuesday, Wednesday, like the weekday. Yeah, like nothing says "f you" from Mother Nature than starting any bad weather from Friday evening going into Saturday, where it gets heavier Saturday. I'm like, what, that's really? We only get but so much days.
That means by the time I go to get my crown on Tuesday, I'm gonna be walking all through the black slush.
Yeah.
Thank you, Winter. Thank you very much.
None of this shit is ideal or fun. This all fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Shit.
Definitely does.
Shit. So does that cover our week and weekend adventures?
Yeah, because work for me has just been pretty quiet. It's been standard stuff. My coworker's back, so.
Oh, same here. My coworker finally bounced back from the COVID stuff, so she's back to relearn this shit.
Yep. So it's just been work, nothing crazy, just standard work and more regular work shenanigans and scenarios and all that other good stuff.
Yep. Sounds like we both balancing that one out. All right. So closing up that, entering into the pod shoutouts. All right. So I'm going to get the list ready for the pod shoutouts. All right. Starting first, my girlfriend, the Captain Kenya, always respect. Shoutouts to her. Black Ramen Podcast. Big shoutouts to the group. Sentai Fountain of Knowledge. Peter, shoutouts. Java Tears Podcast. Respect to Sir Wilkins, whether we get to see him Saturday or not. Big respect to the 10 years in the game, 10 years hosting them parties. Because if it wasn't for them parties, this podcast wouldn't have been a thing. So that
is right.
We got residual shout outs to Java Tears and all they've come together in the parties and just everything. They're definitely the inspiration.
Yeah, those real parties where we met. So yeah, definitely. Shout outs to Java Tears.
Yep. Says on talk. Your sports show, True Hill Heat, 2.5 Bros, Grace Space, Eli out here, get that confidence flowing, bro. It's relational, keeping it 9,000. You guys are out here doing the great stuff on big profile guests, so shout outs to that. Spicy Ramen Podcast, Fat Man DKC, FTO Wire, a Shonen Tape Podcast, RX Superstar Junie. Junie, we gotta talk about these photos, man. You got to talk to him about the photos.
Judy, yeah, you're on the list, buddy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's been beyond time, and I need to see what's going on.
Yeah,
but yeah,
you gotta talk.
But bad guy Jackety unpopular reviews always respect. He always sends big love out there.
Yes, the homie.
Yeah, big facts. Nerding out with Chelsea, fantastic Frankie. The Nido Cafe in Chicago, created by Miss Taylor Tillman. Respect to that. And new shout outs to the Weeb and the Witch podcast, startup podcast out here, giving respect to them. Special supporters, Chef Q, Will Janae always coming through, Kareem, Spirit, Josh, Ryan, Lord 69, Katie, Nate, and Andre.
As always, such a nice roundup. So shout out to my homie Mike as always. Shout out to my Among Us squad. Yo, Spirit, Kareem, Nikki, Heather, because they've all subscribed to the page, so I appreciate them.
Thanks for always listening.
Yes. And just everybody that's been rocking with us so far.
Facts, y'all. You got to run me the analytics again. I know I'm seeing the waves. Things is looking up. People are following us pretty well.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely been a lot of activity. So
that's what's up.
On the Facebook page, just the listen. So,
hey, you know me. I'll be networking.
Continued momentum, which I like.
Yep. All right, shifting things to OTC of this week. this week we about to spin the tail on a little thing of some throwback ideals. So, speaking of the main event coming earlier, I had an idea of bringing this to the forefront. So, I said this week's off the cuff is just a little conversation. What were your thoughts with powers that you wanted as a child? Like, as a child, what kind of superpowers did you want to have?
Oh, I wanted to be a whole Power Ranger. I'm not going to hold you.
Oh, so you just wanted the transformation element and all the weapons that came along with it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. I mean,
that and Wolverine's claws.
Yeah. I had age 7 when I went to the Boys and Girls Club. I had a whole transferred Wolverine toy that was already like mostly wolf.
For some strange reason, I wanted the Ninja Turtles van.
I mean, you were a big Ninja Turtles head, so I'm not surprised on that.
No, I just low-key wanted just to run over Shredder.
Shit, Shredder was trying to find the smoke from early on, eh?
Right? It's on site, Shredder. It's on site.
Shit, I ain't got no problem with that. Handle that.
And then I found out he was Uncle Phil, and I was kind of conflicted.
Shoot. Feeling all kinds of pain through
that.
that.
I was like, this is awkward.
Yeah, this is very awkward, man. Shit.
Oh, man.
That's like that big plot twist. Imagine like actually hitting him and then removing the mask only to see Uncle Phil.
Like, no!
Ah, shit.
I be feeling like Peter. Uncle Ben!
Facts. Ah, shit. Nah. But I definitely heavy feel you on the Power Rangers as kids. I was thinking the usual like flight or invisibility or stuff like that. But then when you just brought that up, it was like, yeah, no, that's exactly what I wanted as a child. I mean, for sure, with the amount of Power Rangers I was watching back then, I was like, yeah,
man. So it's like I didn't want to fly or anything like that.
Yeah, hit up Casper for them powers.
You know what? I don't know why I low-key want them Captain Planet powers just to cause mischief.
Oh my God! Have you ever seen the Captain Planet thing with Don Cheadle?
No, I haven't.
God, yo, okay. Now after this, I gotta send you at least one of those videos because if you ever talk about mischief and Captain Planet, every time you make me think of that, I always think of the Funny or Die series where Captain Planet was played by Don Cheadle and he was just wildin'.
Right, I always said I was going to use my water powers to bust open the hydrants in the summer.
Oh, yes, that you'd be a hood hero. You'd be a hood hero, like
especially when they put the magnet caps on him.
Yeah. Fuck what you heard. Bam.
Ruining the fun, city, ruining the fun.
Right, you know how these are supposed to go. They have pictures in all history books and everything of kids having a good time by them fire hydrants, putting locks on. Like, fuck out of here.
Right, them fire hydrant out summers were lit.
Yeah, big time. I mean, they're classic. That's why they're all in photos and all specific times of good histories.
It used to be hot, and when the fire hydrants, you used to open the fire hydrants up.
Yeah,
and
you see kids of this generation still enjoying that shit. So that's important shit.
That's a staple here. So
yeah. So that's what's up. I fucked with that, and now I got something to send you later to find to show a whole bunch of mischief off that. So all right, so that closes off the cuff for this week. So switching over into the small subsection discussion on reboot news. Now, with the reboot news, you did send me a trailer this week about them.
Yes.
It was that fan-made prequel on the Warriors trailer by Negus Nation that was doing the rounds. A lot of people talking about that. So, you want to talk more on that?
Yeah, I definitely want to see it. So it's a prequel of basically how the Warriors were formed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's taking heavy influence from the video game, which I appreciate.
Oh,
but I definitely want to see that made because...
Yeah, I definitely not only just you. I've seen a lot of hubbub and news about the way how they put that together was definitely catching eyes.
Yeah, because The Warriors is definitely up there with one of my top movies and also played the game. So, yeah, I really want to see that prequel come to life.
I mean, it's surprising that they haven't followed up with any content on the Warriors after like so long.
Yeah, so if they want to do something, I'm all on board with somebody doing that.
Yeah, definitely. So we have that, and then the other thing is what I sent you almost like about a week ago, that they're trying to do a live-action Aristocrats movie.
I don't understand.
I don't know why they want to do a live-action fucking movie about cats.
At some point, I heard them wanting to do a live-action show of the Jetsons.
Yeah.
So, even though, you know what, that may work, because I could see live-action Rosie being a hit.
Yeah. As long as she still roasts.
Yeah.
And then also there was the teaser trailer that they released about that new live action Pinocchio that's supposed to drop in Netflix under Guillermo del Toro.
That's a interesting one. 'Cause it's like
The Pinocchio story never fascinates me, but what does interest me is the director, because every time Guillermo del Toro puts his name on something, that shit ends up being extremely wild. So I might take a look at it, but I've never been a Pinocchio fan. So
Yeah.
it's something on the side to if it piques my interest. So I'll check a look on that or something. So that's that kind of close on reboot news.
You know what we haven't heard about though?
Oh my!
Listen, I am manifesting that this thing stays dead.
I keep telling you, the
We
more
ain't
you
heard about
bring
it?
up, the more you bring. I told this to Kenya too. The more you bring this up, the more somebody's digging. You know our powers. When we talk about it, someone's digging the grave. They like, oh, all right, got you. Watch February 1st. They about to be like, oh, y'all waited so long and y'all deserve a treat. Here's the trailer.
I am manifesting this thing's death.
Mm-hmm. You get manifested.
Powerpuff, stay in the ground. CW, I am not playing with you. Leave it in the ground.
I talked to Kenya.
Do not bring it back up.
she underestimates your beef with this thing. She like you probably don't feel that bad about it. I'm like, oh, you better be listening. What you talking about? If they drop this, you bringing Hands and Mighty Thunder to this shit.
No, Captain, I will be there with picket signs.
Oh man, they best to learn.
Leave it in the ground. It should never see the light of day again.
Watch, when they drop that trailer, they gonna be like, it's all about supporters. Supporters like you guys at Blerd By Nature that always be talking about it.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We will change the name. Change the name.
You know what would make it better? Yo, I think they about to have the Powerpuff Girls reboot.
Nah, even Alpha couldn't save this thing, man. Couldn't even save it.
Mix them two bads together.
We got plenty of ideas on stuff they could do, but let that thing stay in the ground.
They like, oh, stay it in the ground. Oh, so you want the zombie version? All right, I heard it. So the Powerpuff Girls next week gonna fight some zombies. All right, yup, live action.
There's plenty of other shows you could take from that Cartoon Network era. This ain't it, Chief. Let it die.
But here's our rebuttal. Powerpuff Girls.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They're like, we already started production. We already spent money. We're not.
Too bad. So sad.
So,
better ask Elon Musk for some more.
We're gonna continue on our lookout to see if any other reboot bullshit comes through. But switching over to stock news now, the first part of stock news that I heard was that the mayor Eric Adams, his first paycheck was actually paid in Bitcoin and Ethereum.
I heard about that.
What's your thoughts on that?
Huh? You mean before or after it tanked?
I mean, all right, so put yourself in the thought process of the mayor getting his paycheck like that, especially now where it's not as hot as before.
You better give me some good old paper.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I know paper currency is going out, but it ain't going out right now. That's why they said specifically his first paycheck. That second paycheck was like, nah, we ain't doing this. We ain't doing this. Right. Bring me my paper.
Right, let me put the money in the digital currency. You're not gonna send my whole check in there before it hit my account. It done lost half its value. No, thank you, sir.
Facts. He was definitely tight. He said, nah, I'm too saucy for this shit. What?
For real, like I said, they didn't even hit the account yet. You just look like, yo, why my check so small?
Facts, like,
hell nah.
Niggas already deal with FICA, but damn,
that's FICA taking the 10.
Yeah, that's a nightmare. Shit, what the hell? But yeah, so that was just an interesting thing I saw on the news, and then also the thing that I sent you earlier of Musk doing Musk things. Now, Elon Musk is musking us all up again because anybody that got any coin, that got anything connected up with Elon Musk, every time you hear something bad in the news with him, you just always gotta check your account and be like, you about to go down.
Yo, every time I see Elon, I think of Brodus Clay, and I just start singing "Musk is on the road."
Pretty much, because goddamn,
my money
that man
ain't gonna flow.
Yo, this nigga ruins everything, bruh. Now he giving people $5,000 for hush money and shit like that just to take off bad press and shit like bro, You just hurting us all. Stop connecting yourself to billionaires and shit like that. They be okay, we not.
Nope. I'm like, oh, look, it went down again. Oh, my
Uh-huh.
crypto.
Yeah, I'm tired of that shit going down. That shit ain't been nice since this damn SNL. I always blame the SNL. Must be muskin', bruh.
Yo, for real. So he be just... Son, I looked at my stuff today. I opened the app. I looked in and closed the app in disgust.
Yeah. Because like, must be muskin'.
I was like, man, listen.
Should be irritating, bruh.
Musk is on the roll. I'm like, oh, here we go. That's no good for me.
Damn, son. It just be airing out all over the area.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. All right.
Yeah, because I looked at my Dogecoin and, man, listen, it's almost at the price I bought it at. I was like,
see?
oh, this is horrible.
Yes.
It's horrible.
Hurting, man. Definitely hurting. But yeah, that goes up on stock news. Unless you had anything else for stock or reboot.
Musk, stop it.
Yeah. That's just an APB. That ain't even news. That's just, bro. Stop fucking around. Help help add to it. Stop subtracting from it, man. Killing us.
Yeah, and if you want to send any donations my way, I'll provide the Cash App,
Facts.
Robinhood, Coinbase, whatever you need, buddy.
Yeah, we got it all set up. So help. Help. So yeah, that closes the book on the small subsection discussion. All right, now we switch into the good stuff. It's time for the main event segment.
Yeah.
Of the week, third segment. This week we back on the couch, hitting that 90s classic Spider-Man TAS, the animated series, episode 1 and 2. Let's kick it.
Yeah, man. So you gonna hit us with these facts?
Yup. You know I got the fast facts and the history. So let's get into it. American superhero animated TV series based off the Marvel superhero of the same name. Aired under Fox Kids from November 94 to January 98. That was almost my born time in November 94. So they just missed me by the month. They had Spider-Man out here in these streets. Also ran on Toon Disney, Jetix, and Disney XD. Streaming on Disney Plus right now. Produced by Marvel Films Animation. 5 seasons, 65 episodes. Preceded from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, but followed by Spider-Man Unlimited right after that. We got the animated story of the life of a photographer who became a superhero after a radioactive spider bite and navigates through many forms of life. You already know the Spider-Man story, and it's time to kick it. Co-host, do you have any other history or notes before we get into the episode?
Yes, I do. So, Spider-Man. So Spider-Man was heavily censored. Spider-Man was...
This series was censored?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So,
crazy.
Spider-Man came at a time right after Batman, the animated series, and Power Rangers, when parents were on their kick about kids' TV shows being too violent. So, in order to try to stay under the radar, they censored the fuck out of this. And what I mean by that...
That is crazy.
What I mean by that, if you ever noticed, Spider-Man and none of the characters ever punched each other. Think about it. They really didn't show no weapons, no guns, no knives, nothing but lasers.
Yeah, okay, you got me on that.
They didn't use any words like death or kill or anything like that. Just think about it.
Yeah, I mean, there was still a lot of heavy violence. Just you're right on the avoidance of other stuff, but there was definitely that's an interesting thought because they worked around it pretty good then.
Yeah, man. So yeah, they really tried to keep Spider-Man under the radar because, like I said, the parents was already out looking for blood because of Power Rangers and Batman. Mm-hmm. So they kept it under. So another thing is interesting about Spider-Man is the animation style. So they got the typical hand-drawn 90s cartoon animation style, but the city, when Spider-Man is swinging around the city, that's all CGI.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes sense. And there's a thing that I wanted to bring up probably into the first episode that definitely specifically means that.
Yeah, and so honestly, they wanted more of that, but the state that Marvel was in at the time, because Marvel was dang near bankruptcy at this point. Yeah, they couldn't afford it.
Yeah, there was on heavy brink then. It wasn't as popping as it is now, but they had to go through that balance to hit it. Yeah,
and so just that everything that came around during the creation of this. So when they hired certain people, like the director and stuff like that, the series hadn't been written yet.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to write the thing. So the director had made all kinds of demands. He wanted copies of the original Spider-Man, so he got those. And Marvel really, because of the position they were in, they didn't really have too much input on the animated series. Stan Lee, he had some chimes in here, but it was generally the director going at it. He made some requests, he got them, and they written the thing. So like I said, there were a lot of demands placed on what they wanted to do, and there was a lot of headbutting.
I think where we're going into the show, I think I can make an argument that says the way they did it was very interesting to start off for a show.
Yep. And so on that note, we're gonna go right into it. So we got episode 1,
Night of the Lizard.
Night of the Lizard, man. Night of the Lizard. Which is an interesting thing on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, ew. So the first thing we do is we got Spider-Man
intro,
talking.
baby. Oh
We
man,
didn't get that far yet. Hold up.
now that's exactly what started. My thing started. We started straight into the intro.
I didn't start straight with the intro.
How did you not watch this on Disney Plus?
Listen, they must have switched something up on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. Because when I watched it through Disney Plus, the first thing that popped up was the intro.
No, so we didn't get the intro at first. Well, from what I watched.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing that we got was Spider-Man just talking about the city and talking about how have a quote here. Yeah, so the episode, the way I watched it started off with Peter sitting up top of a building, and he's just giving a little commentary about the city. And basically what it's saying, he's saying, New York City, if only everything down there was as peaceful as it looks from up here.
Yeah, and that's the intro. That's the Spider-Man monologue and going through New York. That's what we got after the intro for when I watched the episode.
Yeah, so we didn't. They must have changed that because the intro comes in later. It doesn't come in at this point.
Yeah, mine had the intro straight at the start, and then he monologues.
So he's doing his monologue, and then he swings off. So the next thing we get, which is weird, because then we get the title, Episode of the Lizard.
Yep. See, that's what I'm saying.
It's weird. Yeah.
Because every time I've been binging this shit for all of this weekend. So
weird.
We got the intro, and then we got anything that was going on with Spider-Man. Then the title of the episode will pop up with the creators and everything that shows up after that.
Yeah, it's weird because that's the part I must have missed. Because that we didn't get that part. I didn't see that part. So they did that. It must be added on. So they showed the intro twice?
No, they just put the intro at the very beginning, and then he went to the monologue, and then they did the title screen.
Right, so, then I've watched a couple episodes, and this has been a recurring theme. But okay, so the next
maybe all right. So maybe this. I mean, this isn't the first time they've been arguing this for a long time with a whole bunch of stuff. Like the first time Darkwing Duck came up on Disney Plus, the episodes was out of order. The same thing people said about Clone Wars when it hit Disney.
Yeah, so they must be changing up things. So going on and continuing, after we got Spider-Man swinging away, we get the title, which is Night of the Lizard.
Yep.
And then so we get some shots of the people in New York City just walking around the city. And then next thing we go underground and we're in the subway.
Oh, also, when he was going through New York City, that was definitely that CGI, but it was definitely like a 90s CGI because everything looked straight off a computer. Like, stuff literally started looking like codes.
Yeah, when he swing, you could definitely tell from when the animation changed to when he was swinging.
100%. That was straight up code. Like, I've seen code language building up a screen, and that was perfectly that.
Yep. And so the next thing we got, like I said, so after we saw that, we went underground. And underground, we see the two crewmen are talking.
Yep.
And so one of the crewmen is new. And he was the other crewman was telling him about the job and said, hey, you know what, this job's not bad. It's like, it's cool down here in the summer and it's warm down here in the winter.
Homie said he used to work in TV broadcasting, and homie was talking about if he could get him a TV. He was like, I was on TV.
Yeah, because homie, when he told him that he used to work in TV, and then he started telling him about his TV problems, he's like, I was a TV executive.
That shit had me dying. This nigga said, yo, you can fix my shit? My shit at home kind of rocky. Nah, bro.
So I did have questions, because I'm like, how you go from TV exec to subway crew worker, and how much are they paying you, sir?
This nigga got into some trouble, I tell you that.
So that definitely left me with questions. So, and then the next thing we see is this big giant lizard creep up behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And they was like, "Oh hell no!"
Yeah, wanna get big snatched.
They hauled ass up that ladder and out that manhole so fast.
Yeah.
They started to hop into their van. One of them got in. The other one, as he was getting in, the lizard man then popped through the vent and grabbed him.
Yeah, he grabbed the older coworker. Mm-hmm. The new coworker was up in the van.
New coworker tried to grab the old coworker by the hand, but he had him by the glove. The glove slipped off, and then homie got pulled down by the lizard man, and new homie sped off in the van.
He got big spooked by them eyes.
Son, you could tell he was in distress because he's like, them eyes, they're chasing me.
Now he was flying all through the damn New York City with that car.
And you can see the CGI as he was going through the city.
Yep.
So
I said this should look straight out of a basic computer world.
Yeah, so son is over here driving through the city like a madman, and Spider-Man peeps it, and Spider-Man was like, "What?" And Spider-Man had a line that had me dying. He's like, "What's this? Another satisfied graduate of the New York City cab driving academy?"
Yo,
I'm like, son.
Nah, Spidey landed on that truck and started yelling. That proves to me that I think your comment last week was that this Spider-Man feels like the Andrew Garfield one for real, and that's the Andrew Garfield that he was keeping it mad raw with people. He was definitely that Spidey because he landed on that shit and started yelling at the nigga. Yo, what you doing?
I swear, Andrew encapsulated this,
100%.
And Toby portrayed it. I think that first set of movies with Toby, they got their inspiration from this. I feel like they got their inspiration from the 90s anime. Because every time I watch the Toby ones, this is what I see.
Yeah.
I was like, he is 90s animated Spider-Man. And I love it. That's why I never had a problem with the Toby movies.
Yeah.
And Andrew, he captures that too.
Andrew definitely captured the Peter that's not as innocent as everybody believes.
Yep.
Spidey's just showing off that he a true New Yorker. Like, he'll save you, but he'll curse you out.
Yeah. And so, yeah, like you said, he jumps on the van. He tells him to stop. He looks and sees, oh, we need to turn. He's like, turn, motherfucker, turn. So he grabs the wheel and turns the van.
They start going off-road all the way to the point that truck flies off the damn highway.
What's funny is that as the truck is flying off, that is when we get the intro.
See, no, See,
that is when I got the intro.
That's. I mean, that would be a good place to put it if it was a cliffhanger moment.
That's where I got the intro, and the intro, of course, is a bop.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's no way we skipping over that. The visuals, the music, the guitar riff. Man, they went too hard with that. That is 90s up.
Listen, I had not watched this in years, and as soon as it started playing, I knew it word for word. I started singing along. Yep. Yeah, I was like, Radioactive, Spider Blood. Yeah, and I was just going in. I was like, I have not listened to this thing.
Bro, I've been
years.
I've been watching it all the way to season 2, half of season 2, and I haven't skipped the intro once.
Yeah, it's the way they format these episodes. They're just so
easy.
Gobble them up. It's like bam, bam. Next thing you know, you at the end. The episode is done. It's like
the captain's sleeping right beside me, and I'm just flying through episodes. And that's another thing we're gonna bring up while we go through these episodes. The way how they format these episodes, in that 20 minutes, they have already produced a movie. There's not one episode that flies by in this Spider-Man series that does not feel like a mini movie. All of these shits is so action-packed and full of content that you never feel like nothing's a filler.
Yeah, they don't. There's next to no fluffy. It's usually every episode gets to the point. Like, yo, this is what we doing. This is what's up. This the bad guy. This is what he trying to do. He trying to kill me. Why? He tells me why, because he's like, yo, listen, I don't like you. You gotta die. You effing up my money or you effing up my crime, and you gotta go.
The Spidey series feel like it's full of so much shit. Like they jam packed so much, and so many other motherfuckers from different areas and shit. Like bro, Spidey series is too good.
It was funny. This episode was funny. This episode, he really is like public enemy number 1. Like nobody likes you.
Yeah.
Like ain't nobody like, oh, we here to say, oh, it's Spider-Man. Like nah.
Listen,
what you doing here, son?
Move to that current movie because they captured that shit building off real well. Because, damn, No Way Home caught that shit at the beginning of that movie very well. Mm-hmm. They was like, public enemy number 1, they brought that shit way back.
So, after we come back from the intro, we see We see Spidey and old boy in the van about to hit the water. We see the van hitting the water. We see the van sink all the way down to the bottom.
Yep.
And then the next thing we see is Spidey and the dude hanging from a web. And Spider-Man is asking him, like, yo, what's the deal? What's going on?
he out here babbling, talking about demise and that scale and that thing.
Yeah, so he's telling him about the lizard man. Spider-Man don't believe him at all.
Spidey clowns his ass.
Yes, he does. In classic Spidey style, yes.
Shit.
And then basically Spider-Man just tells him, listen, don't let the cops blame this on me.
That ass. A real nigga.
So he puts it back down the street and then he swings off before the cops come. And so the next scene, we see Peter Parker. Yeah. And he's talking to Robbie.
He dropping off them pics to Robbie.
Right? And Robbie's just telling him, like, yo, you always take good pics of Spider-Man, so listen, I got a new task for you. We need to get some pics of the Lizard Man. Yeah, and Peter is like, huh? So then our good old buddy,
Eddie
Jonah Jameson, done rolled on in, said, hey, the Lizard Man, if you were on time, you would know about this.
And with Eddie Brock right behind him.
Uh-huh. And so they're like, Jameson's getting out order saying, yeah. All right, he's like, Eddie, yeah, you're going to interview all these people. And then the first person he mentions, and Peter's like, yo, I know him. Like, yeah, that's my professor.
Yeah, Dr. Connors.
Yep. And Jonah Jameson's like, all right, Peter, you point on this now. And Brock is like, what the fuck?
Well, he said, do you know all the scientific terms to this? And Eddie like, well,
yep.
Nah.
that shut Eddie up real fast.
He's like, whatever.
And then so they give Peter a picture of the other dude, the older gentleman, the older crew worker that got snatched up by the lizard. Like, y'all, nah, we ain't hear from him, son. And Peter's like, Yeah, like I said, Eddie ain't want no part of that.
No.
He's like, damn. He's like, he right, yo, I don't know nothing about this science shit.
And then Jonah starts throwing out extra shits. He said, he throwing out that extra $1,000 bonus on the tail for whoever scooped that photo. So Peter definitely with that shits.
So Peter's like, on that train, he's like, yeah, son, I could get me maybe a new bike.
Bro said a new bike. I sat here, I was like, all right, Peter trying to whip it in a bike, though? He got a motorcycle license?
Listen, he trying to get down. He said, maybe a down payment on a car. Because, old boy is traveling on the bus. So I
was trying to think of seeing Peter in that motorcycle though. That's a different outlook for Spidey.
I know, kind of Deadpool. I can see it working for him.
Yeah, I can see it working, especially this beefed up Peter Parker.
And then we see Aunt May, typical New York City lady with New York City level bills.
Oh yeah, she's doing it by herself for the most part.
Yeah.
So she had that past due bill and tried to hide it from Peter. Peter's smarter than that. He checked the rest of the papers and be like, nah, why she doing this? Nah, I'm thinking selfish. I'm thinking all the money I could do. I could do things with the money when this lady who housed me about to lose her house. Like, come on, man.
He's like, all right. He's like, nah, we got to cop this photo. All right.
Spidey got
let's
new
go.
goals now.
Like, yeah. He's like, okay, all right. This is what it is. All right. He's like, nah, Aunt May, what we not going to is this. We gonna get you this bread. Hang on.
Yep. So Spidey goes out to hop on these goals. And he goes into the tunnels and he uses that. The second he did this, it just reminded me of the high beams from the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie. Like my son put on the special movie grade Spidey light.
Yep. He taking pictures. He's like, oh, see a big lizard footprint. He's like, yo, nah, maybe this son was right.
Yeah, he was like, oh shit, he might not have been tripping. What the hell is that?
Right? He was like, yo. He's like, maybe son was telling the truth about this lizard.
Yo, some of that spider quip came out. He said, I think that guy wasn't mistaken. I was like, oh, right, this nigga.
I wasn't. Yo, when he said that, I chuckled because I was like,
I said, I'm already rolling my eyes.
I appreciate it though. I appreciate it so much. His little quips and jokes in here just make this. It makes the episodes breeze by.
It's him. It's all Peter's Spider-Man straight out.
Yeah, man.
It's perfect. It's perfect encapsulation. So after he takes a photo of it, we see Peter meeting up with Deborah Whitman, and he says that's a sister to her, and that's proof because that nigga was sick of her when she caught up to him in the rain. This nigga said, "This bitch."
Is she the Zoe?
Yeah, that big energy. He saw her and he was like, oh nah, this bitch coming with the rock.
Right?
And she had the audacity to roast him, and then then she stole his photo to check it out. And I'm like, oh, you definitely a Zoe.
Right?
Shit.
So
Too bad, so sad. Bye, Rocco.
Right? Yeah. So, all right, so they head into the college. This is Empire State University.
Yep. Sheesh.
ESU, yay. And then we see Eddie here.
Yo, Eddie was posted up in that shit like a swooker.
Right?
They got the laugh fit and everything. All you see is this big brolic nigga in the shadows, like.
Right? And so at this point, Peter covers her mouth.
Oh yeah, the Spidey sense.
Yeah, because the Spidey sense was going on. Yo, Deborah, shut up.
He said, "I'm already annoyed with you. If you die on my watch, they definitely gonna blame me."
And then he let her go. He's like, "Yo, what's going on?" He's like, "Nah, something ain't right here." Yo. It's like, "Yeah, I couldn't breathe, motherfucker."
You aggressive ass nigga.
And then the lights go out. He's like, "Oh,
shit." Power went out.
Like, oh yeah, this can't be good. So they headed to Dr. Connor's office.
Yep, they trying to find Doc.
Yeah. So they go in and try to turn the lights. Of course, the lights don't work.
Yep.
And they hear somebody making noise.
They hear the voice of Connor's, but they go close and they see something over there. They turn around, it's the lizard.
Yeah, and so Deborah wants to go be all, oh no. Peter's like, nah, son. She's like, nah, let me go, son.
He told her to sit her ass over here and not go over there. She trying to go over there gung ho, and then she find the lizard, and she had the audacity to be like, Peter, help, nigga, what?
Right? What? Like, nah, son.
Bro, you on your own. You over there. I told you to stay over here, and now you bumping elbows with the beast.
Got hit with a whole box.
Yeah. Got sent to them boxes.
He's like, oh, you okay? You okay? Nah, she left her ass there.
That ass.
So then, Peter was ready to go after the lizard man.
Yeah. Peter heard, and Peter thinks something had happened to Doc.
Yeah.
So he was already about to jump out that window, and Deborah, spooked. She was like, don't leave me alone.
So about to pull up the Spider-Man suit. She's like, don't leave me.
He was dead mid-lifting his fucking shirt. He was like, fuck this bitch. I'm Spider-Man. Oh.
Yeah. He's like, he put his shirt right there, like, damn.
You lucky, man. You lucky I ain't Superman in a phone booth.
He's like, I'm tired of you already, son. Effing it up. I gotta got my photo already, son. You messing it up. Messing up my bag.
But after Peter done saved her, Deborah was feeling something more than a bro connection. She was giving him the flirty eyes. All I heard was "Sweet Home Alabama."
Peter's like, nah, you too annoying. Can't mess with
Facts. He said, I ain't fucking with you or your rock.
Right? He looking out the window like, where that little nigga went.
Facts. I'm ready to suit up. Suit up.
Got the angry look on his face.
Shit. So after this, we started getting some flashbacks to Dr. Connor's experiments on the mouse. He worked on the recombinator that fixed up the mouse that helped him grow back the arm. So it's groundbreaking research because that shit was working. So he wanted to test it on the mouse. So he eventually tested it on people so he can replace limbs and injuries and all that other stuff.
Like his.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because he was missing a whole ass arm.
Yeah. Shoot, I wonder if this is how the biker mice from Mars got created.
Probably between that, the sharks, the moon cats, all.
Oh yeah, that's like street sharks. Here we got a whole lot of questions.
Obviously, this is how we created the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
they was doing a lot of wild genetics in the 90s, creating all kinds of shit.
Everything was wild. I don't know what the hell was in the hysteria, but everything was radioactivity.
Yo, definitely, we had so much going on. I'm surprised the world's not more fucked up.
True.
But yeah, so his experiment, was successful because the rat grew his arm back.
Mm-hmm. So we got that. The lizard pulled out the sewers back to the Connor's house because, to see his kids. Spider-Man pull up on the family.
Yeah, son, he pulled up. Spider-Man's like, yo, like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, Spider-Man jumps in and kind of introduces himself to Dr. Connor's wife and son pretty much. And in the midst of that, you hear a shriek going on because Eddie followed the nigga all the way to the house only to find the lizard. And the lizard started about to attack him.
Yeah, who bike was that he kicked? Was that his son's?
I think so.
I'm like, sir, didn't you pay for that? Why would you do that?
Nigga, he ain't all there right now. He ain't thinking about money. I know his internal self said $2.95. No,
because he really kicked it. I'm like, he kicked it. I was like, yo, sorry, boy.
Nigga said, "Ya goddamn me, you're costing me money."
For real. And yeah, you said Spider-Man showed up.
Yep. Talked to the family. Eddie was on the prowl. Eddie found the lizard and
the lizard was like, "Oh, I gotta take care of you."
He said, "You snooping? You gonna die."
Right? And then Eddie's like, "Oh shit." And then here comes Spidey.
Yeah, Spidey takes some pics, but he dropped the camera.
Yeah.
So fight goes on, and Spidey, the quips be firing.
Yes. He's like, ooh, I take my picture. He's like, damn it. He's like, dang, when am I gonna learn to be a superhero and a good photographer? This bullshit.
Facts.
Like my photo.
So they out here scrapping, and the lizard's getting the best of Spider-Man, whipping his ass. So he got him floored because he got the super lizard strength and shit like that.
Yeah.
And right before the lizard about to fold him, Kurt's son Billy talks him into his senses, and he just kind of disappears after that.
Yeah. He's like, yeah. Not before he threw said bike again. Yo, he don't give no fucks about his bike.
295. God damn it!
Yo,
Could you not?
He's like, stop breaking it, son. I just broke that shit.
Bro, you know he gonna ask me for that shit again. Like, come on, man. I just spent.
Like you said, he laying the smack down on Spider-Man, done threw him into the treehouse and then busted up the treehouse.
Oh boy,
Kurt was like,
I know he inside. I know he inside said that shit took 3 weeks, 3 solid weeks.
He's like, I literally just built that shit.
Bitch ass, lizard ass, nigga ass. Ah.
Like I said, listen, he wild at this point.
Oh yeah, so Kurt's son Billy talked him into his senses, and then he popped a Yui, and then when they looked up, he was pretty much gone. So in the midst, Kurt's wife pulled out, and she revealed what happened when the recombination machine went wrong. Spidey agrees to help the wife in all the dealings and what's happening, but Eddie, being an asshole, even though Spidey just saved him, he took down all the notes. He was like, "Oh, I heard. Oh, that's Dr. Connors. All right, I'm about to go snitch." And Spidey was like, not on my watch."
See, Spider-Man had that Shredder Uncle Phil moment. He's like, yeah, I'm about to whip this lizard's ass. He's like, you said daddy, excuse me? And the wife's like, yeah, that's my husband. Like, Dr. Connor? Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. Spidey was about to whip. Yeah, psych. Yo, that lizard had him pinned to rights. That lizard was about to drop a whole building on his ass.
So he was going to come back for the smoke.
Come back later on.
That's right. You know how Spidey get down? He's like, yeah, I formulated a plan for him.
He said, you won round 1, but I'm still breathing, nigga. We'll be back.
Right. That's right, son. It ain't over. It ain't over yet. And then he was like, oh, man. It's like, nah, I can't murk him off.
Nigga said, it ain't over till I'm 6 feet underground.
And yeah, as for Eddie, man, listen. He's like, nah, son, what you not going to do is get to this man before I do.
Facts.
He's like, you're not going to mess this man's life up.
This nigga said, I got the info, so I'm ready to chat. And Spidey was like, nah, he's done webbed him up. He said, yo, you can hang here for about an hour or two. Shut your ass up.
Yeah, he did. You stay up here.
Facts.
Talking about something you going to do. Nah, you're not going to do nothing.
And in the midst of him handling Eddie, Lizard came back and snatched his wife and went down to sewers.
Yeah, Spidey sense went off. He flew, but he got back to the house. He's like,
this nigga left the house like 10 minutes ago.
He asked his son, like, what happened? He's like, Dad came back and took Mom.
Damn. He said, this kid's seen a lot.
He's like, all right, listen, I'm going to take you somewhere, and then I'm going to go deal with your parents.
Damn. Like, who would have known that this kid Billy would one day become a Power Ranger?
He's like, his Spider-Man like, damn, this $1,000 really ain't worth all this shit.
Nah, this is a lot of stress, man.
Right?
He's literally in a domestic dispute right now.
And then when he's underground, he's talking about like, I can't believe I'm underground. He's like, I can't believe I'm in the sewer. He's like, the Avengers are in the sewer.
He made mad
the
references.
Are in the sewer.
He made mad references. Yo, fuck all that property shit. Yo, this is why you gotta love animation. They don't give a fuck about nobody's rights or stuff like that. This nigga talked about everybody. He talked about DC niggas, Marvel niggas. There was no contract and nothing. He said, I'm not gonna hide no names. Y'all gonna know the Avengers, the Defenders, the Justice League. All them niggas not down here in sewers. I'm here slipping on my ass.
Son was getting mad.
Nigga get the real. He was like, man, fuck all this shit. Only to know years later this nigga become an Avenger. But I'm like, I'm still going through the sewers and bullshit, man.
That's how you know he was over it, yo. He was like a typical dude fast. He's like, this is the bullshit.
This is the big bullshit.
So he's like, yeah, my web all sticking up. This ain't it.
Nigga said, I smell mad funky. I'm gonna have to wash this shit, man.
Right, the smell ain't gonna never come out of this suit. So he over here crawling all around the sewer looking for Dr. Connors and his wife. He's like, man, this ain't it. This ain't it.
Yep.
So he's just looking around, he's hopping through grates and stuff. Like, yeah, I'm gonna find him. He got me in the sewer. Man, nah, we gonna find you. So he's like, okay, let me slide down. Let me go down this thing. And of course, it slides down. He's like, oh shit, I didn't want to go this fast.
Bro, he is getting clapped in here, and he's talking about he need to change the cartridges and shit like that. He is just having a bad time in these sewers.
Yes,
Which reminds me that majority of the game. If I don't know if you had the Game Boy Color one, the cartridge of the old Spider-Man game, like 90% of that game was going through sewers.
Now you see why.
So that shit brought me right back, going through all of them shits, fighting every villain in the sewer. So that shit was a big blow because 90% of that game you was fighting bats.
And so as he drops down from his little slide, as he get ready to shoot off, something grabs his arm. So he looked around, he turned around. And this old boy, the older crew worker,
he's like, me.
He's like, yo, Spider-Man, this dude had me trapped up in here working on some machine night and day. I'm hungry. I'm tired. Get me out of here.
I'm weak. I can barely breathe, man. Just let me go. Let me out.
Spider-Man breaks him out of the little jail. He's like, all right, yo, son, come on. Come on, yo. Yeah. And so he was telling him what he was doing. He's like, son.
He like, I had no other choice. He was going to kill me.
Yep. He's like, listen, I'm damn lizard man trying to slave labor on me. What's going on?
Pretty much. And in the meanwhile, Kurt and his wife talk, and he talking about some plan to turn her into a lizard and everybody into lizard by connecting the electrical system. So he here for the grand lizard race.
Yeah, we like, no. And so Peter was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do this time with this camera. Put you over here real quick, away from this action. Let me light this up, take this snap. Hey, Kurt over here.
I'm going to get this money one way or another. No, fuck out of here talking about saving my professor. Nah, I'm trying to get this money.
Right? And he over here talking about this whole spiel like, yeah, we all going to be lizards together. And his wife looking at him like,
psych?
Nah, sorry.
She said, I want my husband back. Nah. She said, I'm going to play the reverse Uno card. Instead of us becoming lizards, how about you become human?
She's like, sir, that was not in the vows. I did not sign up for that.
For sick or poor, not lizard in health, bro.
Right? Not at all. And he's like, yeah, you do. Oh, you're going to be blah, 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 blah.
He said, I thought you loved me, bitch.
He's like, nah, this is going to be my master plan. Nobody's going to stop me. Blah, 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 blah.
Sorry.
Spider-Man's like, listen here. Told you round 2, son. Told you I'll be back.
Fact. These hands are rated E like my games, bro. Let's go.
That's right, son. And his wife was giving him the business, too. It's like, nah, son, I'm not with none of that. Like, what about our kids, son?
Yo, when they started scrapping and Kurt mind was going, so they started scrapping together and stuff like that. Yo, at one point, his wife grabbed the gun and she pissed me the hell off. She grabbed the gun and she stood there for dumb long. I was like, yo, miss, move. And then she got smacked. I was like,
yeah, she had that gun for a minute. Loki, she was trying to figure out how to use it.
Move and find out. You see this big ass nigga with tails and everything, like, bro, move.
But looking at the area, I don't know if she had too much space she could go to.
She could move away. Like, she stood there still, and she could move further away from the action still.
So Spider-Man had got the gun. He's trying to calibrate it and change it, and the old lizard boy attacked him. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the wife looked like she was already at the edge near the water, stinky water. So at this point, they're underwater, and Peter is fighting with the lizard man while also trying to recalibrate the weapon. I guess to try to cure Dr. Connors.
Yep.
So they're fighting for the weapon, and Peter's just talking about his monologue, like, "Oh man, how did we get here?" Yep. And so his wife, Dr. Connors' wife, is just looking at all the bubbles and stuff going on, and then Peter makes the gun go off, and we get this big old explosion. Mm-hmm. Yep. I thought Captain Planet was coming for a second.
Pretty much.
I looked at the combined their powers, and then so all that starts to settle, and we see Peter come up from the water, aka Spider-Man, and he got Dr. Connors, who is human again. Normal. He's like, yeah, I saved him. Now let me go check my photo real quick, make sure I get my bread.
Facts. And Spidey did get that photo, and Brock talking ish, but he looking silly. The next thing we see is Brock talking to Jonah, talking all that bullshit, talking about like I could swear it's Connors. Connors is the lizard. I swear. And then he brought Jonah all the way to the house, and then Dr. Connors opened up, and he looked mad regular. He even before he opened the door, he said, if Dr. Connors is normal and regular, I'll eat tomorrow's edition of the paper. They open up and everything is fine. And then Jonah looked at him and he was like, what he said? If he wanted it fried or baked.
He's like, did you want it cooked or raw?
Well, there you go. Stuff it, bitch.
I love the way that you deserve that, Eddie. So next thing you see is May with the money. And
Facts.
She showed Peter, like, look, I got this picture. And May's giving him the 30. Be like, yo, Peter, how you got this picture?
That and she roasted the shit out of Spider-Man.
Yeah. It's like, you went down in that stinky sewer, didn't you?
Following that nasty ass Spider-Man.
Right?
Damn, man.
I tell you, ain't nobody got no love for Spider-Man here.
It's double on May. The way how she be roasting that nigga? Oh my god. She hates Spider-Man. God damn.
Right? No love at all. And so May got the bread. Peter gave the photo. The last thing we see is Spider-Man
monologue into the city.
Yep. And that's how we end the episode.
Yep. That closed the episode. Theme plays in instrumental mode at the end, and boom. So my final thoughts is what an episode in one go. So much happened. Like damn, it was dead ass like a mini movie. That shit felt like the whole the Amazing Spider-Man 1 in one go. This show didn't decide to show us origins, but just leave us into the world and just have us go along with it. So following Peter's mind, this shit is all super action packed. Super recommended. Like you just want to watch more episodes. It didn't even need a hook to continue. It's just like this was jam packed. You didn't need they brought you into this world and it was like you already know Spider-Man and you know how his story is. So we just gonna start you off with this nigga's in the middle of the city doing shit. It's not even like really year one because he feels like he's already used to this shit. City already hates him, but he's already doing shit and we're already getting mentioned to like famous villains and shit.
Right. So right off the jump from this episode, I was all in.
Yeah.
You had me. You got me.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man from the jump with his New York wit.
Jokes.
The action was good, and the fact that everything was so condensed, no fluff. Like you got right to the point. That 20 minutes went by so fast.
And that goes even double now that you said all that stuff about censoring, because that shit did not feel like it at all. You can't tell me you went into that episode you feel anything was censored the way niggas was getting their ass hit.
Listen, I was looking for the punches.
Still, you say that, and I gotta think back on it because it didn't even matter. Niggas is getting chucked, tossed, kicked, thrown around, like it still didn't matter.
The fact that they made it work with all of those restrictions, kudos.
Yeah, never even thought to think of a punch, like, because they're already still scrapping. Like, you don't miss punches.
As we were going through it, I'm just thinking about it, I'm like, no, web,
but
drag,
they still
web.
have, like, full drag-out fights, and you're thinking in your head, I guess you just don't need punches. It's like...
And for Spider-Man, it works because he can just use his web in the place of that.
Yeah.
Web, drag, web swing, web, drag, swing.
Facts.
Web kick.
So now that goes double for anything you ever see Spider-Man in that does anything with punches.
Yeah, man.
Shit.
Doggone parents associations. Doggone tight wads of 1990s.
Now it would have been now I'm intrigued. Imagine somebody did like a YouTube compilation of Spider-Man, but Spider-Man the animated series, but with punches. Sheesh.
So we get into episode 2.
The Spider Slayer.
Part 1, yeah. Interesting. So, to begin this off, we do get the intro.
I got the intro here, so I don't know, man. I don't know. She was weird.
For this episode, yes, the intro was here from the jump. That's what it started with.
I don't know. That's what it started with last time. So I don't know. Disney kept that same energy throughout. I guess they said it was cleaner if we just kept everything the same.
Because I'm telling you, that's what that first episode, it was like, it was here, and then you put it here.
I don't know.
So, of course, we get the bop.
It's fire.
Still fire. Get our CGI.
It's fire then, fire now. It'll be fire all 5 seasons. It's fire.
Yeah. Get our CGI through the city, get our Green Goblin throwing stuff and all that stuff. Goblin, excuse me, because he ain't green yet.
Nope.
Yeah. And the heat goes on. The heat goes on.
Yep. So we got that. The theme finishes. The title pops up.
Right. And so we start with some CGI web swinging from Peter, of course. Always the good stuff.
And Spidey monologuing. That's just if he in the city, if he swinging, he gon' monologue.
And then his Spidey sense is going off.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, why is my Spidey sense going off here? And so he sees this little drone pop up.
Yeah, a couple of these motherfucking drones.
Yeah, so it was 5 of them together. They roll up on him. And they got cameras and stuff, and he's like, "Yo, what's going on?" And they're attacking me. Oh, that's why my Spidey sense going off. Okay, shit. Flippy, agility, Spidey agility, showing off. He's like, "Nah, they still chasing me. This ain't it."
Someone from the deep who's controlling these drones is trying to figure out his Spidey strength, and these things are bombs, and they chasing his ass.
Yeah, he figured that out after the first one exploded. He's like, "Oh shoot!" He's like, "Bad day, the city."
I heard you, Jackie.
Right. He's like, okay, now I see what I'm up against. All right, I'm gonna web you. I'm gonna tie you up here real fast.
He said, I'm gonna use that math on these. I'm gonna use the math on their ass and hit.
He's like, oh, here's another one. Let me dodge this one real quick. Kaboom, Louis, kaboom, boom, boom. Oh no.
Thanks.
He's like, I still got 2 on my ass. Oh shoot, swing, Spidey, swing.
Oh, it's all them bombs out here.
He's like, okay, I got one behind me. I got one in front of me. I got to time this right. Swing, 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 swing. Where the other one at? Oh, here you go. Duh.
Boom themselves.
He's like, all right, that's 4. That's 4.
Yeah, all them bombs.
He's like, oh shit, I got one more. He's like, oh shoot.
Oh shit.
It's like, whoo. He's like, I made it. Whew. It's like,
Shit.
What the hell was that?
So he outsmarted all them bombs, and we find out behind this is the Osborn and the Smite family. They on his ass. And they argue while they unveiled the Black Widow Spider Slayer to take out Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's like Osborn, Norman out here wilding out.
Norman, Alistair, his father, the Smite family.
Yeah, and Harry, I keep calling him Harry because of the damn waves that he got in his head.
I mean, it's Bourne. It's the Bourne family. Oh, yo, the announcement that we got that we was this close to getting waves. Oh my God! If Willem Dafoe had waves in that goddamn movie, I would have flipped. I would have flipped in that movie theater. This nigga came back. Norman's not here right now. Odie unveiled the waves. Oh my God! The way I was shouting in that movie, I would have been hollering.
I know, yo.
Nigga.
So Osborn's over, he get mad. He's like, yo, you were supposed to get him. He's like, nah, that wasn't the job of those things. They were just surveillance. Like, this is what's gonna get him.
I paid you money.
This is what's gonna get him. They show him the Spider Slayer. So now we're back at the Daily Bugle.
Yeah.
And
Felicia Hardy talking to Jonah.
Good buddy Jonah.
And Robert.
Yeah, Robert, right?
Felicia talking about they about to have a gala for her father on the famous Hardy family outgoing, and Jonah got to spend good bread on that.
And so he's like, she's just giving him the 1 and 2. Like, listen, you host the party, but you ain't host no party that I'm involved with. So this is what we gonna do.
Facts. She giving out the orders and stuff like that, and then Jonah capping because this nigga said I'm about to put my best photographer on the job.
Right?
Oh, Peter Parker. This nigga had him pull up. You know, yo, Peter, come here. I got an assignment for you. And then Felicia already know who it is. She's like, oh, Peter. Oh, Felicia. So they go to the same college. She was like, all right, copy.
I bet. All right, cool.
Old girl got the horny eyes for Peter. She looked at Peter. She was like, oh, all right, you got Peter on the shit.
She added Peter to the roster.
Nigga said, all right, heard that. Jonah was like, keep that tongue in your mouth, sir.
Right? He's like, Peter, your mouth, close it.
Facts.
And then Jonah was talking some stuff to Felicia. Mind you, behind his back, he had his fingers crossed.
That's what I'm saying. He capping. He was big capping.
Son, wow.
This nigga ain't shit.
Oh, I'm tired of him.
The more I saw of Jonah in this series, the more I remembered how much I did not like this nigga growing up. This nigga may be funny through this series and that series, but this nigga was a big problem.
Man, like I said, that's why I saw every time I'll be playing the Spider-Man games, y'all be wanting to roll up to the Daily Bugle like, yo, where you at?
That's why I'm saying. It be that slide comments and shit like that, but when you watch further in this series, like, this nigga be causing shit. I was like, yo, Jonah, you actually a problem sometimes, bro. You actually like a problem.
Hanging from the Empire State Building.
Mm-hmm. Shit.
Tired of this shit. Right, and then so next scene, we're seeing them there working on the Spider Killer. Mm-hmm. Getting it ready.
You're already talking about the weakness of the spider and shit like that. And then, on top of all that shit, motherfucker Eddie Brock is on with him.
Yeah, I was like,
you bitch. you no good, flat top, bitch ass.
Right? I was like, what, you feel a certain type of way now after the last episode? Like,
this nigga took one lizard assignment from your ass. You ready to oh yeah. This nigga saved you from the lizard and you already plot with the big villains looking like you part of the Sinister Six. Like, nigga, right? What?
Yo, son, I'm looking at this, I'm like, you no good. I should have left your ass the lizard.
I said, you ain't shit like Pete.
Facts.
You ain't shit like Pete from Goof Troop.
Just the plotting.
Niggas just serve you kindness, and all you give us is plot pain.
Right? I'm like, man, listen. Ain't no redeeming quality, sir.
Facts. So right after this, we find out why Smythe was talking about why he working with Osborn.
Yep.
He just wants to help his son since he caused some kind of explosion that took out his son's legs.
Yeah.
So he's trying to get that
machine.
high spec machine walking shit for him.
And he made the deal with Osborn. He's like, okay, Osborn not too bad, but lo and behold,
Osborn talks to his people, and his people turned out to be big people. Who are the people?
Kingpin.
Man, with the classic voice. That's the Kingpin, I know. With that goddamn voice, they all trying to get rid of him. He said if the spider weapon fails, he taking the company as a load.
Yep, I guess Osborn owes him some money.
Facts. So he said. So Osborn was like, "Yo, you in a win-win situation. Either you get my company if we fail, or you get Spider-Man get rid of." So he said, "Yo, that's why I'm the Kingpin, bitch."
Yeah, so because he got the big beef with Spider-Man. He's like, listen, I can't raid no criminal empire if I can't even take care of my home turf. And
Spider-Man I run New York and Spider-Man fucking with me. And real talk, I'm waiting for this kind of beef to happen in the MCU.
Right? Oh, son.
Woo! All this animated series made me think of, first of all, I very much love the villains in Spider-Man. They transition to other villains throughout the place, like Kingpin be beefing with a lot of niggas, but ain't no beef like the beef he got with Spider-Man in New York. Run it.
I'm waiting to see his intro and how they do it, cause
I need to see Vincent versus Tom Holland so bad. Do you want to? You know how bad I want to see the big ass Kingpin fling Spider-Man all over the place? Oh, I'm here for it.
Yo, imagine him versus little tiny on top.
That's what I'm saying. Yo, he gonna break that nigga back like Bane.
Right? He thought he got a beat down in No Way Home. Listen.
Yo, listen. The way how I already love when Vincent says anything, when Vincent strikes up a conversation in his Kingpin voice, or his conversation with Tom gonna be serious. He gonna beat that ass, and he gonna drag him. He ain't even gonna take off the mat. He gonna drag him. You remember when we used to play Spider-Man on PS4 when we had the Kingpin fight? And
yes, I do very much.
Oh, I'm trying to see all that shit in the theaters. Good money. Slap the money down.
For real, yo.
Shit, that's all that this shit rung in my head.
So the next scene, right? So the next scene we see is Smite, building more surveillance bots. Mm-hmm. And his son asks him, like, why are you working with Osborn? He's like, listen, man, you asked too many questions.
Yeah, they out ready to jump him with some machines.
Yep. So at this point, he sends out a lot of these surveillance drones. So
jump him. They ready to smite them.
They out here looking for Spider-Man.
Yup. And then we transition over to the party. We see Flash
Swanky.
and Harry. We see this one caught me off guard because I completely forgot that Harry and Peter wasn't always like good friends. Mm-hmm. They try to play that off later, but Flash and Harry was chilling. But Felicia snatches him up to dance, and then Peter walks in and she forget all about her man. She was dancing with him for like 2 seconds. Peter walked in, she got straight up Google eyes, and this nigga in here at the party. He brought Aunt May, and everybody clowning him, but Felicia was like, "Yo, I'm trying to get a piece of him. He look honorable."
She's like, I'm trying to add him to the roster. Like a Flash,
Damn.
Get out here.
Nothing more shame when this nigga's like, yo, I swear we was booed up. She was like, booed up? Nigga, I got a roster. Yep. Shit.
She's like, yo, I may, you mind if I borrow him real quick?
Shit. While he was talking with Aunt May said, it's nice that you brought me, but you should have brought my friend's niece, Mary Jane. Dang. And at this point, I was like, all right, so we already at a situation where he don't know who Mary Jane is, because this nigga said blind date with somebody's friend. Fuck out of here. I ain't trying to do all that. Peter swaggy for that.
And so at this point, he's dancing with Felicia. Mm-hmm. Harry and Flash are like, He's like, I knew this would happen.
See, that's what I'm saying though. With the way Harry was acting and the way Harry was with Flash, I was like, they ain't boys yet. Either that or Harry's a dick, because Harry was out there seeing that whole shit and he was like, man, he if they was boys, he would have talked to Pete. But the way out, he was hating.
I don't know. Felicia seemed like she for the streets, so we gonna see how this goes.
That's a whole other story, nigga. I got DLC content that proved that she for the streets. Nah, bro, we could talk. That's a whole other podcast. If we want to have a whole podcast talking about the Spider-Man game, we could shit. Streets and nigga, we talking underground.
So downstairs, Flash and
Harry.
Yeah, Flash and Harry. I don't know why Harry name slipped my mind.
What? He slipped his mind when he ain't Norman.
Right.
But nah, see, that's how I know, yo. Like the way how Harry and Flash was about to put some okey doke on Pete. That's the proof that they ain't boys. They ain't boys.
So at this point, Flash is done dressed up as Spider-Man.
The worst night to pick that.
Right? And Harry's with the shits.
Mm-hmm. Like, they specifically said to go embarrass Pete.
Yeah.
Not his mans.
Yeah, not his mans at all. And then what we see, the Douglas and Bailey show was like, oh, damn.
They was like, oh, we got Spidey's ass now.
And then we see punk ass Eddie with Smite and Norman looking like, oh yeah, we got him.
Yep. Felicia all over Peter, and she kissed him. I literally said, hey, Flash, I know this nigga part of the roster, but goddamn, you thought that nigga was your... the way how she was acting, I thought Flash was her man at least, and she just out here creeping in the open wide. Goddamn.
For the streets.
Underground. She for the sewers, bro. Shit. Spider sense going off. Peter calls it, fake Spider-Man shows up to go press Peter, and Peter calls him an imposter, and Felicia got the right reaction. She pressed him. She said, how you know? Oh, yeah, you're right. Peter almost lost the whole identity right there. This nigga said, you know what? Nah, nobody should be scared. He an imposter. Felicia said, how the fuck you know? Nigga,
Like, nah, you're right. It might be him.
Peter looked off for a second. He looked like the meme of the math lady. So yeah, shit, you're right. He probably could be the real one.
So he rolled up. So Spider Flash then rolled up on Peter. Like, yo, he's like, yo, I don't like the pictures you taking me, son.
Oh, word. That nigga Pete played extra dumb. This nigga said, oh, word? Shit, I'm sorry, Spike.
He's like, don't do it again. He's like, what are we gonna do? How did we see?
Jonah having a fucking conniption. That nigga said, I know this nigga ain't come to my house.
Yeah, he picked that. He's like, I can't believe
this web crawling ass nigga ain't in my house. What the fuck? Who let him in?
He got some balls to be here.
I hate this nigga. Who let him through the door?
Right.
Should have shot him at the door.
Right. So Peter's like, what you want me to do? And he go home, and then Peter goes home.
That nigga Peter too funny. That nigga a clown. Big clown. Best superhero.
Yeah, and then here we see the Spider Killer. Like, oh, the rolled up. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man that hauled hit in the corner. Spider Flash. Aunt May got targeted, and Peter went to go help her.
Nah, so when the spider creatures, when the drones pulled up on Spider-Man, and this nigga yelled, yo, Peter taking a piss out of everybody. That nigga yelled back. He said, what you want me to do? He said, ah! Peter said, ah! That nigga Peter ain't shit.
He ain't shit. I love this Peter Parker.
Nah, bruh, seriously, the animated series Spider-Man, I don't know, y'all want to argue a lot of Spider-Mans. I think the animated series 90 Spider-Man is the best Peter Parker.
Yeah,
this he is the funniest. He is
my favorite.
Funniest of all time, top quality. I think the other day they had an interview with him talking about all this Spider-Verse nonsense and all this shit. I'm like, my nigga, if y'all want to bring him back in some capacity, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I would have no issues with it.
In that Spider-Verse movie, y'all going through all kinds of animation. I know y'all could update the 90s version, and then if this nigga still voice actor, bring it back. Bring it back, because I want a conversation. Mad jokes.
So, at this point, Peter gets Aunt May somewhere safe. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, all right, let me go suit up, because, you know, Spider Flash is going to get
he about to
everybody killed.
Let me go save this bum ass nigga.
He's like, first, right, so the Spider Killer went to go attack Felicia, then Spider-Man, the real one, showed up like, yo, what's good?
What's good in my hood, yo?
Right, what's going on here? And then Jonah Jameson was like, what? Another one? What the fuck?
Niggas only 2 niggas in my own goddamn.
He looked for Peter, and I ain't got no photographer. This is the bullshit.
This nigga is having a whole conniption. It's like a racist white dad seeing two black men in his house.
And Peter over here messing with the spider drum going, Toto. I'm like,
fucking with this nigga, man. God damn it, I love this man.
So mind you, at this point, Osborn and Spike looking for the Spider-Man. They find the Spider-Man, but it's Spider-Flash.
Yeah, they got him grounded and shit like that, smack him up, and they grab him up, and they grab up the wrong nigga, but whatever.
Yep, they grabbed up Spider-Flash and took him away.
Shit, they snatch him up, and he already on TV, making a big press conference about the shit. And Eddie Brock on TV, Odie making a big noise, a big hype about it, ready to unmask Spidey, and then they pull the mask off, and it's Flash Thompson.
Now, before we get there, we see the police at Jonah's house, and Jonah's like, oh, this is going to cost me all this money.
He said it's gonna cost me $1 million to do this shit, and it's funny because earlier he was talking to Felicia, and he was like, "Yo, this party gonna cost $1 million. Now the damages cost $1 million. You reap what you sow, Jonah."
And then so we see Aunt May watching the news, and we hear Eddie over here talking about, "Yeah, this is Eddie on TV."
This nigga said that's why that nigga wasn't here,
right? Yeah, and he looking like. He's like, oh, Eddie about to get this scoop. He's like, And they're looking, right? They're waiting for the reveal, and they take off the mask, and it's Flash. And of course, May recognized him. He's like,
May said, that's one of the boys that go to the same school as Beta. He said, Spider-Man just some high school nigga? What?
Yep, and then next thing you know, I loved it. Spider-Man, like, yo.
he not only does it's not like he came through the door or nothing. This nigga was on the wall. So y'all know that ain't me, right? Nigga said, goddamn fake.
Yep. So back at the hideout, Flash done put back on the mask. Like, Flash, why?
Nigga said, fuck it.
so now he go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say a group of men just pulled up. And they come to snatch Spidey, and they break the camera and talk about, we got a secret mission out here. We got to handle Spider-Man.
So yeah, because Eddie was like, listen, I have First Amendment rights. He's like, listen, we've amended them.
That shit me down. The nigga, without a doubt, this series is too funny. This series is absolutely too funny. The lines that come out of niggas, they are funny. They don't give a shit.
Yep. And then Smite's son is like, I thought we was turning them over to the police. He's like, and then Osborn was like, listen, I ain't got nothing to do with this.
I am the police. Sir, now look at me. I am the police.
Yeah, Osborn, they both Smites look at Osborn like, listen, I ain't had nothing to do with this.
Nigga, shit. Kingpin said we altered the deal. Sorry.
Yeah, Smite was like, you son of a bitch.
Now Spidey busts Jonah balls for a minute, and then he goes out to help Flash.
Yep, he's like, and Jonah was like, yeah, this the real one. I can smell him.
Yeah, I can smell you too, sourpuss. That nigga, seriously, Tom, take notes. You better be busting Jonah's balls, especially all the shit that Jonah did to you in that movie, because I blame Jonah for a lot of shit that happened in that movie. Let it be known, you better be violating the nigga the same way.
And it's funny, like, now Jonah realized that Eddie done fucked up. Ate a whole
this nigga said he made a whole fool of the Daily Bugle. I'm gonna have to reprint. It will have to cost me more money. This nigga Jonah sound like Mr. Krabs. He said he costing me money.
He big bad. He's like, our man trying to tell Jonah, like, that Flash is still in trouble. Next thing they look at Spider-Man is gone, because he went to go be the hero.
This nigga said in the midst of all this nigga said, Eddie cost me so much money. I wish I fired him yesterday.
Right. So we got our CGI webbing through the city.
Mm-hmm. Pulls up to take care of the peeps.
Yep. Spider-Man is here.
Shit.
Spider-Man. Web.
Yep. Handle them niggas all the way so he could get to that rematch with the Black Widow.
Yeah.
And he out here El Kabonging the nigga. Like, he picked up a piece of shit and started swinging at him.
Right. He took care of the guards. Web. Quip. Joke.
Black Widow. Smack.
Right. Yeah. The Black Widow was like, oh shit. And Harry's telling somebody, you know what the deal is, son.
Yeah, man.
Take care of him.
So everybody leaves the lab because a fire breaks out. So everybody leaves the lab except for Pop Smite. So he in there trying to handle the rest of the Black Widow on the Spider-Man.
And Spider-Man over here with the metal beam fighting, hitting, smacking.
He El Kabonged him. He said, Susan.
And then so Norman said,
see? Yo. We're going to have to put him into a room, both spinning waves, and you got to figure out which one's which, bro.
So Norman sent one of the surveillance joint at Spider-Man, and Spider-Man swung at him with the beam and said, "Hey, the Mets can use me." I
was crying. Listen, Spider-Man, being from New York. Now, anybody can say a lot of shit about Spider-Man being their favorite, but if you're from New York, Spider-Man is that nigga.
Yes, yo.
Spider-Man is that nigga.
I
love how that comic is still ring true today.
Right? I was like, damn, Spider, you ain't have to do them like that.
This nigga is on point. And this Spider-Man is the best. The best.
So at this point, yeah, like you said, the fire erupts out, and the goons leave. Smite, and here come Osborn's like, you know I deal. Like, Smite, like, get my son out of here, though.
Mm-hmm. So Smite, Papa Smythe still in there, handling the job, working on the Black Widow.
So now he done took control of the Spider Killer, and he grabbed the beam from Spider-Man and hit Spider-Man with the beam.
Nigga said, I'm gonna take you out one way or another, nigga.
He's like, man, I'd rather deal with the lizard than this.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man gets knocked into some barrels. She goes to shoot his web, like, oh shoot, my cartridge is out. That's right, Andrew.
That's a running theme with this nigga. Cartridges be flying down.
Yeah. And then we see he crawls up the wall, and then we see freaking Flash. Like, Flash, like, save me!
This nigga looked over the corner. Oh, how heroic of you, Flash.
Son, I'm like, yo. So,
I said Flash was hollering. That nigga was hollering.
So Spidey's crawling up the wall. The Spider Killer threw some oil in the wall. Spidey lost his grip, fell, and happened to fall on top of the Spider Killer. So
started bull riding that motherfucker,
right? And Spike is big man, like, yo, get off my thing, son.
Mm-hmm. Flash still in the middle hollering. Ah!
Yeah, like, help me,
bitch ass nigga.
Crawled up in the corner. And then so now the Spider Killer gotta get Smite and the Spider Killer. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go after this fake Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. So Spider-Man used his web cartridges not to fill up his own web, but to throw them into the jet engines of the Spider Killer. Yeah. Now, mind you, Flash is fearing for his whole life. Mm-hmm. So now he's like, Spider-Man, help me, nigga. And he's like, I'm helping you. Hold on.
Stop yelling, bitch.
He drags the Spider Killer, and he falls off the beam, and he tries to use his jets, and they get clogged up with the web, and the Spider Killer falls into the acid.
Now, what had me dying earlier on in the episode when they was working on the Spider Killer robot, they said they were working on it, and they said literally specifically, be careful of that acid. It's the only weakness of the Spider Slayer. Lo and behold, Spider-Man didn't even know that, and he just figured he dumped him into acid, which was literally its only weakness. So that shit just turned around in the same episode, had me dying. I was like, the moment they said that, I was like, well, that's a way to get rid of the motherfucker now.
And then we see Flash and Spider-Man talking. He's like, Flash, like, man, this is the bullshit. I don't know what part of the suit to get. He's like, yeah, now you see what I did.
Nigga should have grabbed him up. See, that's what happens when you swagger jack a nigga from New York. Cause I'm saucy and you not. Shut the fuck up.
Spider-Man like, you don't want this life, cause I don't want this life either.
Nigga said, you know what? You're right. Let's both dump our suits right over there.
Right? So
sick of this shit. Avengers don't gotta go through this shit. They got money.
Right. So they swing off, and then we see the Osborn. We see Harry. Oh, not Harry.
See, we see Norman and Alistair out there talking about, yo, did my father make it out? They turn around, boom. Oh shit.
Along with Eddie.
Yeah.
And then the place
no
goes
good
boom.
Ass Eddie. Place go boom. No father to be seen.
Yeah. And Alistair's like, oh shit. And then so back at Jameson's place.
Oh boy, Jonah gave this nigga the left, right, and center. This nigga even made a joke at Fox. This nigga said even Fox is laughing at me. Fox, nigga.
Yo, when he said that, I was weak knowing that this thing was on Fox.
Yes. On top of not only that, but the mere fact that the Daily Bugle is not like, they feel like the most disrespectful association is Fox. Yo. Like, damn, even they don't like Fox News.
Yo, that's why I'm cracking up. I'm cracking up because all this is going on, and this show is on Fox Kids, and I'm like,
that's the ultimate payoff. But so Brock gets 2 episodes in. This nigga already get canned. This nigga got fired for this.
And he's like, get off my face.
And then going off to Flash trying to talk to Felicia, she dubbed the shit out of him because this nigga was a whole bitch at that party. And then she see Pete and she dubbed him for being silly and cowardly.
Yep. That's right. You still for the streets.
Oh, yeah. For the underground.
Uh-huh.
For the sewers, miss.
Down there with the turtles.
Yep. Oh, well. But Pete happy to see Aunt May good at least.
Yeah, right. He's like, listen, well, what happened was, she's like, nah, son, you left me. Spider-Man had to come save me. Spider-Man, of all people, Spider-Man.
Damn, nigga, what? Nigga said, I'm still getting double roasted.
And he got on May and is like, you know what? Yeah, you need to meet this nice Mary Jane. Leave that Felicia for the streets.
So he like, all right, man. So whatever, we find out what's going on with that later. And then we go over to Alistair, who's thinking of his dad and the whole explosion. And in the meanwhile, Kingpin come to pick him up. And he like, yo, just come with me, bro. We gonna plot revenge.
He's like, I was associated with your dad. He's like, now I'm going to help you. He's like, yeah, we're going to make a plot to get rid of the man who killed your father, Spider-Man.
And that's where we get that our first ever cliffhanger. So that we get that to be continued.
Yep.
So my final impression is this series is totally awesome. Who can't get enough? Because this shit too good. From jokes to action to everything. You're thrown into this world with so many characters and important people and growing roster of villains. Holy shit, like... Most people only get like one or like a freak of the week or some shit situation. Nah, we're only like the second episode. We seen a rogues gallery about like 5 villains this nigga got to deal with. Shit, I wouldn't want to be Spider-Man either.
Dead ass.
He got important people and growing villain rosters and problems to dealing with every second and an entertaining spree. And this was again a full ass movie in one small 20-minute series. Even with a cliffhanger to boot, Def would continue this series for sure. Love this series, absolutely.
Yeah, this series is awesome. I was with it from the first episode.
Yep.
The fact that this episode ended the way it did with Kingpin rolling Alistair off. Listen, man, the jokes, the comedy, everything here just works.
On point.
And this definitely made you want to continue without question. Now you got to figure out, like, how Kingpin gonna fit into this? How's he gonna get into this?
Revenge.
How much for the streets is Felicia?
How Jonah gonna continue pissing off Spider-Man?
Yeah, right. Will he get hung from the Empire State Building?
Will we see Peter enjoy his date with supposed Mary Jane?
Right. It's just so much good here.
Yeah, so much setup, so much build up, so much shit going on, and we only in episode 2. Like, all this goodness, how you gonna stop?
And what made it great is that the episodes just fly by.
They really do. Like, I spend legit a day flying through them
because they're just so concise. They're so compact. You get straight to the point. You get the action. You get what's going on, it's just a fun watch.
Yep. So that's it. We definitely super recommend this series. Ridiculous, like Spider-Man series, especially this one, can't do no wrong, man. Shit's just entertaining.
Yeah, this one is part of my triad along with Batman, the animated series, and X-Men.
Yeah. That's
those three.
Those are the legacies.
Those three animated series of this '90s era is just heat and awesomeness.
Yep, dope on that. So,
we gonna talk. Yeah, we definitely gonna review Batman at some point because.
Especially with the new one on the rise soon that they trying to do with HBO Max, the revival of that.
We definitely gonna talk about '90s animated Batman because he was a goon.
Oh, he was definitely good. But we'll hop on that. So that closes the book on Spider-Man the Animated Series for this week. For next week, we're going to be going back. We're going to be going back with Down with BMP, Black Boy for Power. And this time we taking on the Alien Rangers. So we'll be doing episode 1 and 2 of the Alien Rangers. The hidden second season, pretty much, second series of the Power Ranger series that really doesn't get much love or a lot talked about because it was kind of there in a space where it was like Zero's the main second series, but this one was like literally like a hidden in.
So technically it's season 3.5.
Yeah.
It's the transition. It's the transition from Mighty Morphin to Zeo.
Yeah, pretty much. It definitely lays the groundwork, but it happened. It is considered its own thing because it had its own separate thing going on, like the whole intro and everything. You know, it was tied between the stuff.
Yep. So it was definitely that transition time, but the way it came about, it made sense. From a logic perspective, it made sense.
So we're
definitely gonna get into that. When we talk
we're gonna get into that, and we're gonna let people know. If you don't know, you will know when we come and review it.
And I'm gonna tie this into little bits we talked about in the space episode, but we're gonna get into that.
But that's what we do on this podcast. We put all the hooks together. I mean, look, we talked about J. Jonah Jameson, and that connects us right back to Korra from the first episode. Tenzin.
Yep. You talking about old Shiesty Eddie, aka Pete?
Yeah, see. Listen, our episodes. If you don't think these things connect, these series connect, man. Anime, regular TV shows, comfy couches, just everything in general. They all connect. Power Rangers, they all connect.
Yeah. So next week is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting for the people that don't know. They will know next week. Mm-hmm. So, everybody who's trying to find us or chat with us about anything on your mind, suggestions, anything of that like, we got an email set up at blerdbynature@gmail.com, Facebook and Instagram, Blerd By Nature, Twitter at Blerd By Nature, and 8TURE. Shoot us with the YouTube.
Search for us on YouTube by searching for Blerd By Nature Podcast.
Yep. And we got that all set up. Any more news or notes to say before I hit us with the outro?
Nah, take us home like a New York City cab.
Facts, man. I'm about to take us on this journey like Spider-Man, going through them CGI streets. So, thanks for joining us today from Black Thought to Nerd Power. This is Nicholas, Mr. Go With The Flow.
And I am the man with the plan, Maurice.
And this was another edition of the Blerd By Nature Podcast.
Till next time, everyone. Peace.
Peace.